creating the first running application in Angular. What are the things are required for that? All these things we'll see. Okay, fine. So as we have seen yesterday, let me just open my slides. Okay, fine. So yesterday we have seen about how exactly the Angular works and what are the necessary technologies that requires in background with that. For example, it requires the HTML, it requires the CSS, it requires the JavaScript. Fine. But today we'll practically see installing the Angular and creating a running application in Angular. So what are the things are needed for that? For an example, so I'll just give you a set of steps over here. I hope it is visible to you people. So we'll try going through those steps and try installing Angular in our system so that we'll get to know how these things works practically. So first step, I need to install a VS Code. So when I'm saying that I need to install a VS Code, so we need some ID, right? Though you might have used Eclipse, you might have used NetBeans or other IDs popular, which are for Java or other development. So here we are going to use the latest one, that is a Visual Studio Code. This is provided by Microsoft, and it is one of the basic and from a functionality point of view, it's a very advanced ID, but it looks very simple when you will use it. So for the simplicity, we are using the VS Code over here. And how to download that? So for that, you just need to open your Google and you need to search for VS Code,
Yeah,
Visual Studio
excuse me,
Code.
Naveen.
Yeah, please tell.
Yeah, can you check once, like waiting list?
Give
Some
me.
of are not joining.
Yeah, waiting list is already clear. Everyone are joined.
Yeah, okay, Naveen, Karen.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Srinivas. So now here we are seeing that how to install the VS Code. So here is the first link, code.visualstudio.com. So you can just open that. And once you have opened this, you can download this. And not to worry, guys, you will get a recording for this particular session by our team. So you can go through the recording and do this implementation later. For now, you can focus on the contents that we are talking about and try asking more and more questions that can help us to know more things. Okay, so from here you can download the VS Code, and it could be suitable for Windows, Mac OS, or Linux, whatever the operating system you people are using. But I'll suggest to use Windows operating system, because whenever we are going through any particular course, so I am teaching you here using the Windows operating system. So what are the commands I will use that might be different for you if you're using the iOS. After that, if it might be different for you if you're using the Linux. Okay, so instead of wasting the time in figuring out what commands will be there for Mac OS, what commands will be there for Linux, it will be difficult time, and you will waste more of the time in unwanted things figuring out. Fine. So we'll focus more on the concepts that are with respect to Angular, and please try using the Windows operating system with for the better productivity of this course. Okay, fine. But still you can use other operating system also, but I'll suggest to use Windows operating system. So this is how you can download it, and once you have downloaded it, you can see it, and this is how it looks. Let me open it. Yeah, let it open. Yeah, so this is how it looks, a complete dark theme mode that you can work for a long time. And here is the VS Code where we can start writing our code in Angular. All right. So coming to the other application that are required. So we are done with the first requirement of VS Code. Let's see the next, what is required. The next is Node.js installation is required. So how to download the Node.js and everything? Again, we'll Google out and we'll search only Node. If you search Node, you will navigate it to the website that is nodejs.org. So you can just click over there, and this website will get open, and from here you can download the LTS version. Please don't download the current version. Download the LTS version, which is the latest stable version. Once you have downloaded that, you can just say next, next, next. You can install that. There is no special instructions, no special configurations will be needed. You can just say next, next, next. Okay, there is no special requirement for that. And once you are done with that installation, you can come back to this particular ID, and from here you can try opening the terminal. Okay, here is a terminal. new terminal. So once you have opened this, so just now you have installed the node.js, right? So we'll try checking the node.js version for us. So node hyphen v. So once you have hit the command, you should able to get the version. You will get this version if you have successfully installed the node. All right. Okay, perfect. So here I'll start creating my application and I'll select a folder. How I should select? File, open folder. And from here, I can just select out any folder. For now, I'm selecting one of the folder over here. Give me a second. Okay, fine. So I have created a folder over here and I'm selecting that folder. So you should also select any one of the folder. Please select any particular folder which is present apart from the C drive. Why we should not use the folder from C drive? Because it might have some permission issues and unwantedly will get up some unneeded uh, permission issues. That is the reason I suggest please use any folder which is not in the C drive. Okay. After that, if you get some trusting this trust author window something, please select this trust author and click on yes, I trust the authors. This is just a VS Code related security issues, nothing else. Yes, I'm able to see my folder over here and I'm ready to work now. All good. Come back to the steps here. What my steps says here. I'm done with my VS Code. I'm done with my Node.js. Now it's time to install the Angular. And how should you install that? The command for that is npm install -g at angular/cli. So I need to open the terminal here. All right. Make sure that you should be and you must be inside the folder that you have created. Okay, fine. After that, I need to say npm install -g at angular/cli. This is /cli. All right, guys. Copy. I'm just pasting this command in the chat box so that when you see the recording, you will have access to the chat box that will help you to copy the command. Fine. Otherwise, you can anyhow go to the recording and see. Once you hit enter, it will take a couple of minutes. Sometimes I have seen it also takes 10 to 15 minutes. So if it is taking time, nothing to worry on that, but it will complete because it download the setup from the internet and download it and install it locally in your machine. So it might take some time to complete this process. Fine. So I'm not hitting it enter over here because I'm already using another Angular version that will create the conflict for me here. Fine. So you can just press enter over here. The installation will start and it will take a couple of minutes and maybe 10 to 15 minutes if your machine is slow and the internet connection is slow. All right, guys, this is how we can proceed with the next step. All right, let's see what we can do the next. So now I'm ready with my Angular also. And after that, it's time to create the first running Angular application. What is the command for that? ng new my app. So let's try to hit that command. All right, ng, what exactly the ng mean? Ng means Angular. What is new? You're going to create a new project. What is my app? My app will be your project name. So once I hit enter over here, so it will ask me a couple of questions. So the people who were present yesterday, we have discussed about Angular, right? What is Angular? Angular is a framework in which there are multiple things like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and in background also there are multiple things present to create a bigger application, a bigger web application very smoothly, very fastly. So of course, when Angular is having these many things in that, these many technologies inside of it, so definitely it will ask you a couple of questions regarding what? Regarding how it should start creating the application, how it should start creating the project. It will ask you configuration, right? That is the reason it is asking me some questions over here. It is asking, would you like to add Angular routing? I'll say no, because I want to create a basic application for now. Okay, after hitting enter over there, it is also asking me what style sheet format I want to use. I will not select anything. I'll just press enter. Fine. Right now, nothing special configuration need to be selected. And now the project creation started. It will take a couple of minutes because it downloads all the necessary libraries and create a sample template project for us. In a couple of minutes, it will be ready. And in meanwhile, we'll have some questions if you're having something till now. The people who were not present yesterday in the day, yesterday's demo session, for them a quick note. So yesterday we have seen what exactly the Angular is, what exactly the full stack is, what is exactly the backend development, what is front end development, what is how we can store the data in database as well, and what are the technologies, different technologies we can use at different levels like front end, back end, and the database. And today we are going to more focus on Angular and creating the first running Angular application. All right. So yesterday we have seen nothing much special, just an introduction. And we have also seen an introduction about Angular, what exactly Angular and how we can start with that. The project creation might take some time. Please wait. Please wait. It may take some more time. In meanwhile, if anyone having any questions, feel free to ask. We'll have a good discussion. Yeah. So for me, it's completed now and we are ready with one sample project, and the project got created successfully. And here we are able to see the first running project, that is my app. The folder also got created, and in that folder, there are bunch of files got created. So right now there is nothing to worry about that, how many files got created and what exactly these all files do, because this is a sample project. So we are more trying to learn about how to create a project and how to run it initially. So we are not focusing on what exactly the things are present inside the project. Okay. So for now, I will move forward to run this application, and then we'll also try understanding each and every file in this particular folder structure. All right. So let's see what we can do the next. So the next command will be to move inside the folder and start running the application. For example, if you are able to see here, my folder name is, my project name is my app, and I'm not inside my project right now. Not inside my folder right now. So what I should do, I should say cd my app. So it will take me inside my project. All right. So now I can say ng serve. What exactly the ng serve mean? Ng stands for Angular. And what is the serve? Serve will compile your complete Angular application that just now created, and it will start hosting on one temporary development server where we can see the output. One more important thing I would like to highlight over here. What is that? So here, whatever the files are there inside the project, so that we are not aware right now what exactly those files do, and after that what is the role of each and every file. Fine. So right now, no need to worry on that, because our focus is that to create and run an application initially, so that we can confirm our Angular installation is successful. So once we have confirmed that, we'll try understanding each and every file in more detail. Fine. In meanwhile, our application is also ready and we are able to listen it. So let's try to open that. And for that, I need to open this particular path, localhost 4200. I can also copy it from here. I'll open my web browser and paste it here. All right. So this is our first running application is ready, and we are able to see the output, right? So we haven't did a single line of code. We haven't write any code over here. We haven't created any file. We have just created a new project. We have run it, and that's it. We are able to see the output. All right, guys. It means that I have confirmed here my Angular installation, my Node.js installation, the softwares, the setups which are required to create an Angular application is successful, and I'm able to run the application. So now I can more focus on how exactly the Angular project is created. What are the folders in that? What are the files in that? So let's try to see in more detail. Okay. So before going into this particular folder structure, one important thing about Angular I would like to highlight. Angular will be always a single page application. Always, in the sense, in most of the time, and it is basically used to create a single page application. So what is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of single page application I mean here? I mean to say that I would like to show you some example over here. With that, I can show you how I can say it's a single page application. For example, I'm showing you this website, and I have also shown you this website yesterday as well. So this is a website. When I'm clicking on this particular login page over here, login option over here, I'm able to see one authentication page, right? I'm able to see one login page. After that, when I'm clicking on post, I'm also able to see the post over here. When I'm clicking on the edit button, I'm also able to see one form over here to update it. All right. Is this something different pages? Yes, it is looking like a different pages, but these are not the different pages. All right. How I can confirm that? I will show you one more website. For example, I'm showing you the PHP website over here. Okay. So now observe the difference between these two. For example, I'm clicking on the downloads option over here, and let's see, are you able to see one spinner spinning over here? It means that it is loading the page. All right. It is loading the page. Simply, it means that. All right. So when I'm clicking on this particular downloads option, you can see it is again started spinning. So what is the meaning of that? The meaning of that, the page is already available. When I'm clicking on the download section, one more new page is going to come up. That is the downloads page. And for that, it is again started communication with the server. All right. Again, if I try to click on the documentation, again, it will start spinning or something. Right now, my network is slow. I guess I'm not able to see the output, but I wanted to show you only one thing. Even if you are on the page, and if you try clicking on any other link, it will try downloading that page again and try to show you the output. But here, if you see in our application, if I'm clicking on the login option, you will not see a spinner over here. Are you able to see the spinner? No. Are you able to see here also spinner? No. No. So our website is just get it load, means it will get loaded once only, and after that we can navigate to many options without getting a refresh, without getting further data from the server, because it will get downloaded the website in first transaction only. Receiving how quickly we are able to see all the options here. And if you see here, now the download page got open. I'm again trying to open the documentation page. Okay, I'll stop this spinning. I'll try to open the documentation. It will again started communication with server, and it is trying to download the documentation page and able to show, then it will able to show us. Right now the connection speed is slow for me, I guess, but for each and every page, it is going to the server, getting the HTML data back and showing the data back. Fine. But for us, this is not the case. For us, everything is available in our here only locally website, and we are able to see all the output very quick. So why we are having a feel like these are the different pages? That is one of the question. So we are getting a feel. This is a login different page. This is at the list of post. This is also a different page, and this particular update option. This is also one more new page. This is just an illusion that Angular is giving us, but these are all the single page only. Only the contents are getting changed, but in background there is a single page only for that. All right, guys. So Angular is used to create the single page applications, we can say, in which once the application is downloaded, all the further operations can be much more faster, we can say. All right. So this is how we have proved that Angular is a single page application here. All right. And why it is important, I'll tell you. That is also important to understand. For example, I'm showing you one sample website that I have shown you yesterday as well. So let me log into this website. And why the single page application is necessary when you create the bigger application, you will get to know now. So when you will create a bigger applications in Angular like this, so it will have a lot more options. It will have a lot more options of customization, of add, update, delete, and many other features. So you can imagine whenever you want to navigate through different options over here and everything, it should be very quick. All right, it should be very quick so that you can see all the data very quickly. So it might look these are all different pages whenever you're clicking on different pages and everything, but these are not all the different pages. There is only one page for this particular complete website as well. If you want to prove that, what I can do, I can just right click over here and inspect. You will see the code for that, what you will get. Instead of inspect, I'll say view page source, and here is the data for that. All right, so only 14 lines of code is there for this much bigger website. But how in 14 lines everything will be? But if you see on line number 12 over here, so here is the magic comes into picture. So line number 12 and 13. So this particular line number 12 and 13 is having a bunch of data clubbed together that is necessary to create this complete website. All right, everyone, this is the line number 12 and 13. So this is what Angular, what it is doing over here, how exactly in detail it works, all the components will be created, and how the complete website will get converted to these files over here so that we can see that data. All these things we are going to see in upcoming sessions. All right, everyone. And if you see for this websites also, there will be only one page in background, and all the pages that we are able to see here that are not pages, that are components, we can say. All right, fine. So this is how it works. So let's try to see the code as well. So by looking at the code here as well, I can show you. So if you navigate through this particular code, I'll later I will show you there will be only one HTML file. Fine, the main file, we can say. And after that there are a bunch of file which will not be the different pages that are components, but there will be only one HTML page. All right, so what is this first folder? E2E. E2E is a end-to-end testing, so not necessary for now because we are learning Angular, we are not testing Angular. Next, what is this node modules? So Angular is using a bunch of libraries, a bunch of technologies from other partners as well, right? HTML, CSS, and many other things in background. So of course, Angular need to use those libraries, and those libraries are stored in these node modules. All right. After that, what exactly the source? So inside the source folder, what is the code we are going to write now? So all things will be together, clubbed together inside this particular source. We'll see in detail what exactly the source folder will contain. After that, here are the bunch of different configurations file which are not necessary at all, and we will not change those files in any particular scenario. Only in very few things we need to change that. For example, the project name, project version. So we'll see a couple of files from them which are necessary. So for example, here is an angular.json file. So we can mention the Angular version, we can mention the project name, path, and many other things. But these configurations files will not change throughout our project. So nothing to worry on this. This is just a default configuration files. All right, everyone. So we'll try more focusing on this particular source folder because here we need to write the code. All right. So here we are seeing the code, and here I'm able to see index.html file. So as I told you, Angular is a single page application, fine. So in Angular, when we are saying that it's a single page, so there will be only one page. All right. And this is that page. If you open the definition for this, you will see those 14 to 15 lines of code that we have seen over here. All right. So if you compare this code and this code, it will be exact similar, including the app root. So what exactly this app root? So app root will be your complete Angular application. Getting. So here using HTML, we are providing a HTML page, and inside our HTML body, whatever all the contents we are showing over here to create our application, that all is combined into this app root. And how exactly this app root works, how exactly in detail we can add the things into that, we'll see in the upcoming sessions. All right. Fine. So there is one more extra line called this script into this. So that will get added after compilation. So right now we cannot much more discuss on that because we need to understand more on how Angular works for that. All right, everyone. So this is about the basic introduction about how exactly the Angular works, how exactly we can create an Angular application, and we'll quickly revise what are the setups are required for that so that you can do it after the session by looking at the recording. The recordings will be shared to you after the session in some time. So very first thing, you need to install the VS Studio Code that is required to write the code like this, a Visual Studio Code, you will get it. After that, you need to install the Node.js. Node.js, you can install it from the Google. It will be very simple, Node, and you can download it from nodejs.org. You need to download the LTS version, and once you have downloaded, you need to install it. There is no special instructions, no special things are needed. Just say next, next, next. And if anything prompted, just say it yes. Okay, fine. After that, the next step will be to install the Angular. To install the Angular, the command will be npm install -g at angular/cli. The command is already given in the chat box. From there also you can pick up this command. After that, you can create your first application, that is ng new my app. Fine. And here is the way to create the first Angular application. Okay, guys. So I hope everyone are pretty much clear on how to create the first Angular application, what are the required setups will be for that, and how Angular is used to create a single page application. All right, everyone. So I'll quickly wait for your questions for 30 seconds, and I'll wait for your questions on whatever we have discussed about the Angular framework, about the setup that we have done, about Angular is a single page application, that explanation, and any more things in your mind. Or if you are okay with that, whatever we have did till now, please drop your confirmation in chat box so that I can get to know all things are pretty much clear to you. The people who are clear with the explanations and all the concepts, please drop the confirmation in chat box, or the people who are having the questions, please ask. Yeah, I'm getting few confirmation in chat box. Yeah, if someone is having the question, I'll request you to please unmute and ask it directly. It will be a better communication so that other people will also be clarified with that. So Sirisa, can you please unmute and ask your doubt on that?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Sirisa, go ahead.
Sir, I would like to know about React, sir. What's it?
Okay, so you have heard about the React and you would like to compare with Node and what exactly the difference between that. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll tell you. So we have seen the basic things which are needed for any web application development, that is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. All right. So to create a complex website, to create a modern website, to create the website a faster way, to create with a good scalability and good performance and good security. So we need some frameworks, right? That is the reason we are using the Angular. But of course, Angular is not the only way to do that. So what are the parallel technologies with Angular? That is the React. So whatever you are able to do with Angular, you can also go ahead and do with the React. You can also go ahead and do with the Vue.js. So Angular, React, and Vue.js. These are the three parallel technologies with Angular. All right. So if you're doing into this, you can also do in that, but there are certain differences. So in which particular case you should go ahead with React, in which particular case you should go ahead with Angular. So in Angular, if you start learning, initially the learning of Angular is must needed. For example, you have to learn the Angular because in Angular, when you start writing the application and once you have learned the application, so everything will be present inside the Angular only, inside Angular framework only. There is nothing needed from outside to learn if you want to create any bigger application also. All right. So that is much more sufficient if you're learning the Angular, and you can create any bigger application at any scale without any third party integration. You can go ahead and alonely do in Angular. But this is not the case with React. If you want to create a bigger application, if you want to create a complete good application in a web application, only React will not be sufficient. With React, you need to use some third party solutions as well, and you also need to learn those third party tools, libraries, and solution to integrate it with React and complete your task. Fine. So once you have learned Angular, so while learning it will be means you have to take some good training to learn Angular, because it is having some concepts that you need to understand on core level. But once you have understood those concepts, everything you can create with Angular only. No third party other things, and no other libraries will be needed to create even the bigger applications. Yeah. I hope, Siris, I have given you answer. Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Other people, please. I'm getting some questions, few more questions on some difference. Could you please unmute and ask?
Hi, sir.
Yeah, please tell.
Difference between Angular and Angular JS.
Definitely. So Angular JS and Angular. So we have seen till now there are 12 versions got released for Angular. Not exactly 12, maybe 10 or 11, but the latest version is available, that is Angular version 12. Angular JS is the first version which got released. So the first version of Angular is known as Angular JS. And from next onwards, whatever the versions got released, version number 2, version number 3, version number 5, 6, 7, till now 12, everything is known as just Angular. Only the first version name is Angular JS, and that is very old. Right now Angular JS is nobody is using, only in some support projects if it is already created and they are maintaining that, but nobody is creating the projects in Angular JS because that is a very outdated, and only the Angular is the latest one. Is that clear?
Clear, sir.
Yeah. Other people, please. Any more questions?
Sir, are we going to learn TypeScript?
Definitely. So when we are learning the Angular, so TypeScript will also be included in that, because TypeScript is needed to write the code, to write some logical understanding, to write some business logic like communication with the database, writing the for loops, writing the if statements and everything. For all these logical operation, we need TypeScript in Angular. So we are also going to learn a bit of TypeScript here as well.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So I hope all the people are pretty much clear with whatever we have done till now. I'll request all people to please complete the implementation, complete the setup that we have given, and try creating the first Angular project. And let's start the journey towards a web development with Angular. Okay, fine. And I hope the team will shortly provide you some good channel to communication, to had a good communication with me as well. So even after the session, if you are having some doubts, if you are not able to do it, you can connect with us over there and we can resolve your issues very quickly. So the team